the dreams that built us, which is the title of the. Hello. Please.
This is my.
You start again.
I start again.
Maybe you should just like 3 sentences introduce yourself, and like not your whole life, but.
My name is Marco Carraro. I'm an architect that has worked all over the world. I'm actually graduated here in Venice at the University UA, and then I moved to America, where I worked for a good 25 years, and then I moved to India, where I lived another 10-year past, always doing the architect and being involved with sustainable projects. And then after that, I moved to Berlin, where I am now working and being resident. And throughout my career, I have most of the time been involved with sustainable projects, and at least the philosophy of sustainability back in the beginning of the 90s. And the name Citergy actually was generated during one of my work at that time, and now finally became this little booklet that I'm presenting, which is about what are the dreams that allows you to build buildings. It's not about buildings per se, it's about the buildings and the dreams, the fears, and all the things that they come just before you start to actually to design a building. So the booklet is a story, is a novel, inspired by architecture. And there are 2 characters. One is called Cedric, and the other one is called GPT. And Cedric and GPT, they met occasionally, and they start to talk about architecture. And they start to ask questions to each other. What is architecture? And so in order to understand what is happening in architecture, they go through the history of architecture. They go period, time by time. And this is the first part of the book, where the 2, they talk about what about the Renaissance, what about Middle Age, and then they get to the beginning of the 20th century. And then is when the first part of the novel take a turn, because there is a question which I'm not going to tell you because it would spoil a little bit. But this question, if answered properly, it could give a lot of interesting views of what architecture could be. And that's when the story starts, when the answer is given. And to be even more specific, Chat GPT is asked, should I, actually he's offering to Cedric, and he says, should I explain to you what this new vision of architecture could be? And Cedric said, yes, please do so. And that's the description starts. And there they go through this imaginary place, and where you will be able to see through also drawings, which are very schematic, what is intended to be this new world. And to the end, when there is a revelation, which again I'm not going to spoil, and that's, you understand where the mechanism came in place. And the story ends with a message that makes you understand that architecture nowadays, as any other creative activity in the world, is actually the combination of different disciplines, different way of thinking. It's not anymore just design oriented, but is system oriented, and that's where all the elements of the system they come in place, and that's, you can see it. At least it's described. So the booklet is very short; it's only 75 pages, and so it goes through quickly. But one question that I can probably answer now is this book being written by GPT? Right? And the answer is no, it's not being written by GPT, but it's been written with GPT.
Yeah.
So GPT is a character, as Cedric is a character, which reflects the architectural humanity and how we feel it, and the way. And on the other side, there is a huge knowledge and data, which is brought by GPT. And the two together, they create this new world. And so it's a combination of how to work together with artificial intelligence in a way where it's a collaboration. And so I hope that in the booklet you will be able to read and see that, keeping in mind that the story develops on the written part as well as in the drawings that you can see. So I can tell you that the description of the city goes through every element of how a city could be built and should be lived. It's just the way that our parks, how the buildings are done, how the building functions, new idea of to manage buildings, but also religion, also of course transportation, also the way to interact. So everything is described using drawings that I did in ink. They are made by little sketches, little things